Okay. Welcome everyone to a special edition of This is Real Life Thursday with Laura Waller, the owner of Powerful Fitness and a native of North Carolina. This is a special edition. I really have been hearing from a lot of you mamas that you're working on fitness and how to stay motivated after motherhood and kind of incorporate that into your life. And Laura and I met online, and she's this amazing resource that I have brought for you guys. She's going to talk to us a little bit about the struggles we face as moms and how to really make motherhood work for you and your fitness, right? So, Laura, so happy to have you. Thank you so much for taking time out of crazy busy mom day to join us. And I'm just going to do a quick intro so you guys know a little bit more about Laura. She and her husband have two kids, ages 6 and 4, and they stay busy, but being fit together is really part of their lifestyle. They find ways as a family to work fitness into almost everything from hikes together to taking walks. But after having kids, running just wasn't helping Laura get the results she needed or wanted. And after staying home alone with the kids all day, she craved community with others, which I can totally relate to. She started teaching group exercise almost 4 years ago and fell in love with the class environment. And she loves the idea of everyone laughing and working out at the same time. She believes when there is community, there is fun and accountability together. And she teaches everything from boot camp to toning to kickboxing. If you don't see her in class, you will probably find her somewhere outside with her kids, but always with a coffee in hand. Love that.
Got it already.
Got my coffee over here.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Why don't we start by you just telling us a little bit more about yourself and kind of the turning point for how you decided to start Powerful Fitness? Like, I know there was a point where you were a kindergarten teacher before,
Yes.
but just kind of a little bit about your evolution as a mom and a woman and a business
Yeah.
owner.
Well, I'll keep it short because that could probably go on. But yeah, I was a teacher. I taught second grade. I taught kindergarten, and then when I had my daughter, I decided to stay home with her. Um, and I just think Powerful Fitness has evolved with me. It started off as an online thing where I was doing some personal training for people online. And that is where I really saw that although I was providing meal plans and workouts, the thing that my women were using the most was this private Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
I was so surprised. I was like, hey guys, I'm writing these meal plans, but they really didn't care. They just wanted to be in that Facebook group. And even though they were miles apart, I was training people all over the country, they were more interested in like talking to each other and saying, oh, well, how do you make that breakfast? And how did you do that when you had kids? And just asking each other questions and encouraging each other. And they would get in there and say, I've had a horrible day. And another one would post, go take a walk. So what I saw was like, wow, people really just want that accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And as I started to feel a little bit lonely because I was home all day with my kids, I started to kind of venture into group exercise. And so Powerful Fitness has evolved. I do still do some online personal training, but it has evolved into more of a local. We're in Northern Virginia, and it's turned into classes for moms. And again, evolving because I started with mommy and me classes where my son in particular does not fare well in gym childcares. He does well everywhere else. I think it's just to annoy me. But take him to a gym childcare and he is going to lose his mind. So I kind of selfishly started the Mommy and Me boot camp because I wanted to work out and I couldn't leave him anywhere.
Or
So
smartly, brilliantly.
yeah, so it's really fun. The other thing is with our classes, I really again just went off of what I experienced. My kids don't like my kids are high energy. We'll call it high energy. So they needed to be able to run. So I tried to create a class where kids could participate. So it's really interesting. The moms are super laid back. You might be doing a plank and another kid's crawling under you.
Right.
It's a really open environment. But again, what I found is the moms have become friends. Even though they didn't know each other before, I see them getting together outside of class. Again, I'm providing them with meal plans and workouts, but I think the thing that they love the most is the community. And
Totally.
I mean, I work in gyms. I've worked in gyms, but when you can go to class and know you're gonna not be alone,
Mm-hmm.
it's so much more fun. The workout goes by so much better, but you're encouraging each other, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that community in fitness is where people really see results.
Yeah, especially I think like you pointed out, getting lonely when you're staying home. If you're a stay-at-home mom or a
Yes.
work-at-home mom, like I work from home, and I the best results I've always had have always been when I'm going to a class, like a yoga class or a gym
Right.
class or whatever, or running with a friend. Like
Yeah.
if I have a friend, because then it's like a social event. Like
Yes.
it's like,
Well, and oftentimes I've had to tell my moms, okay, like
yeah,
no more
wrap it
chatting.
up.
We got to work, people. So, I think, and there's been times where I leave and I'm like, man, I don't even remember what the workout was because we talked the entire time about how do you get your kid to eat broccoli. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it just becomes this support group. And
Yeah,
so, I leave feeling so much better
that's so
um, all
awesome.
around. So I think that's where it came from is I just really saw, man, we're missing out. We need to be doing this together. We need to be in this together. So that was where
That
it
is
started.
so inspiring how you did that too, like incorporating your kids and knowing what they needed and not.
You
I
know,
think
I
like
I wish I could say I did it on purpose because people often say, like, "Oh,
mm,
that's a great idea," and it wasn't really on
yeah,
purpose.
but
I think it really, and that's why I think it's so great.
mhm,
The idea is because it truly came from a need. Like,
yeah,
we and it is evolving. So I started with the mommy and me, but then I learned that a lot of moms, they either work, so they can't do mommy and me,
right,
or maybe their kids just aren't comfortable in large groups. So they come, so we added a 5:15 in the morning element where a lot of my moms come out for a 45-minute workout and love that because they get home before anybody wakes up.
right,
And then I had moms say, "Hey, we'd like to do night class because we'd like to leave the kids with the dads for bath time and have an hour to ourselves at night." So, it's really kind of a growing
mm,
thing to give moms as many options as possible that work for them because everybody needs something different.
right. Nobody has the same exact home
Exactly.
environment. Yeah, no, I that's so good. And it's so great that you're like facilitating this self-care, right? Like you're not even
Right.
you're like I just wanted to work out and hang out with my friends, and moms like to chat and they like community, and now
Yeah.
on top of it like you're getting moms who are now treating it as self-care too. Like I
Right.
would like to work out and socialize in a supportive group of women.
Yes.
Um and I would like the husband to take over and do bath time tonight for an hour
Yeah.
so I can get an hour to myself. Like that's awesome too. So
Yeah.
it is really inspiring, and I think it's also real. It's very like, I think anybody who is a mompreneur knows that
Right.
nothing is what you plan.
Right.
And it does always come from a need. Like when I quit my job, I didn't even know what I was going to do, but I
Right.
was like, here's my need.
Right.
We're going to figure it out. And we have been figuring it out ever since, but
Right.
it all stems from that need and just kind of like building your kids into your new life is kind
Right.
of what it's about. And your life is all about fitness. So
Right.
I think that's really great for moms to hear too. The fact that a lot of the times we feel like we can't work out because it feels like this big thing that you have to do. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
can't get started. But really, it's like if you just had an accountability buddy or a supportive Facebook group where you could go and feed off each other's energy, like that's just a
Right.
start, right? So
Definitely.
that's really awesome. And something like when I was checking out your website and stuff, and I mean, I follow you on Facebook and you have awesome Facebook posts. But what I love about your approach to workout is that it seems really practical and realistic, which for me is huge for
Right.
fitness. Like, I don't feel the same way every day, first of all.
Right.
Like, no 2 days are the same for me. That's not even
Right.
taking into account, like, my family dynamics, like being pregnant, having, like,
Right.
a bipolar a toddler. So,
Yeah.
it needs to be practical and realistic. So, um, like, what do you think sets your workout specifically apart from other coaches who might not work exclusively with moms?
I think what I try to give my moms, even in class, is I try to give them workouts they can do anywhere. So one thing we do is we do whatever workout we do, I print it up and send it home with them, and that
Oh,
keeps me accountable to making sure that what I'm sending home with them, okay, so you can't make it to class tomorrow or the next day. Here's something you can do. Um, I understand that your workout may need to be, honestly, most of my workouts are equipment free, or you may need a band.
That's one huge difference right there. Equipment
Yeah,
free.
I will occasionally post some that if you're at the gym you could do, but 99% of my workouts are you can do them in your basement. On snow days, like we've had a bajillion snow days here, and I was able to continue my fitness routine because I could do them in the basement. I could do them in the backyard. I've been known to do them on the playground, wherever. Now my kids now are 6 and 4, and I think you have to realize things are going to be different. So I have to think back, all right, what was it like to have an 18-month-old?
Yeah.
Now, my kids can now and also, again, interrupting myself, but they've been conditioned. So we started off slow. They knew to wait for me for 10 minutes. And now I'm able to do more because they're older and they can play together. So that's coming. If you have an 18-month-old, it gets better.
I love that.
I promise. You will be able to say, now you may have to stop and say, stop hitting your sister, but it does get to where you don't have to worry, like, are they putting everything in their mouth? Like, my kids can be in a different room.
Like, are they going to die?
Yeah, so it's awesome. Like, it's quiet, but I'll deal with it later. I think the biggest thing is I really try to make it so you can do them anywhere. You don't have to have a lot of equipment. And also, I will tell my moms, here's the workout. Do it one time through. That's great. If you can get 2 times in, great. If you can do it once in the morning and once at night, awesome. I have a friend who told me that she keeps bands under her kid's crib because she has to lay in there with the kid at night, and she lays on the floor in the dark and does the bands while the kid's going to sleep. Because
the child's crib?
The baby's in the crib, but they just need a little bit of time with the mom sitting in there.
Wow.
Like that's become their routine. Instead of rocking, she kind of just sits in the room. So she's like, I just pull the bands out from under the crib, do my work. Like moms have to get creative. And we're going to talk about this later, but one type of workout that I love for my moms is Tabata. And my mom, and we'll talk about what that is, but one of my moms says she does that when her kids are taking a bath. She goes out in the hallway. It's a 4-minute workout. So you can find
4 minutes.
Yeah. So I think that's where I think it's different is I really try to drill into my moms. Like you can do this anywhere. Who cares what you look like on the playground? Who cares? Like, our hashtag is special kind of crazy. Be crazy. We've done, and I think because a lot of times our boot camps are on playgrounds, like when it's summertime, my moms have gotten more comfortable. They'll send me pictures like, hey, I was pushing my kid in the swing and I did, 20 squats and nobody's
so super really flexible too, like thinking outside the box and being really flexible, huh? So that's awesome. Moving on to the motivation to work out. So a lot of the women in our Mommy Soul tribe, we have a private Facebook group, and they've expressed not even being able to muster the motivation to work out. So now we've talked about making it accessible and flexible and creative and thinking outside the box. But I feel like you have to have encountered this with mothers who are just pulled in so many different directions that workout just falls to the bottom of the list, like their own health and fitness. So I wanted to ask you, what advice or action steps would you give to the mother who's struggling with this motivation piece of it? Well,
I guess my question would be, do you want to, but you can't quite get the or you don't even want to? Because I think that's too, you know what I mean?
I think the sense that I get from a lot of women that I work with is the should factor. I know I should, they don't want to.
Right.
But I think mothers especially have this running list of the things they should be doing.
Okay. Well, I think a couple of things when I think about that. I think we should. Obviously. I think that the feeling I see my moms walk out with, if we could convince a mom to try a workout for a week, try to get in 2 or 3, I think with the sense of accomplishment that they're going to feel, if they could just try it one time, kind of like we tell our kids, if you would just try the broccoli, you might like the broccoli. Try it. And I think some of it's just a decision. I'm going to do this because it's going to make me calmer for my children. It's going to make me more centered for my family. But I think this is the key. I go back to the should. And now, again, I live in Northern Virginia, and I say this, my husband's like, you say this every single time we go into DC. But every time we go into DC, I go, everybody runs here. Everybody. Like, you go to DC, it's like everywhere. It's like an epidemic. It's great. Running is great. I used to be much more into running than I am now. It doesn't really fit into the time I have. Running is awesome. Some women feel so good when they're done running. But to me, I think often here, I felt like, man, I should be running. Like, even as a fitness professional, if you want to use that word, I'd use that loosely. But I feel like, man, I should be running. But you know what? And then if I am going to run, I should be running a half marathon because everyone has the 13.1 sticker or the 20
because
so
a mile just won't do.
Yeah, it's not enough to just go for 3 miles. Like I got to go big because I should be. I don't like it. Now, I don't want to say running is great. And if you're running a half marathon, you are amazing. But so are the women who are doing other things. So to answer the question, find something you want to do. If you don't like running, don't do it.
It's like turn the should into a want.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a certain workout. If you think about running and think, that sounds terrible, then don't do it. But if you think about swimming, and that sounds more exciting, maybe try to find a pool around. If you think about walking with your kid in the stroller, my favorite workout is walking while my kids ride their bike. Like, I love to do that. That's a great... I feel love to take hikes.
Go to lately.
Yeah, I mean, when I was pregnant, that's all I did. Just putting it out there, and that was fine.
And I think it's also just
amount of weight. I lost the weight at normal time, so you don't have to kill yourself. Yeah, I just think that the motivation comes when you find that thing that you really like. For me, it's group exercise. I do really well there. I look forward to it. I know I'm going to get a high when I'm done. That's not to say don't try it. Other things, I enjoy running with friends. If somebody's going to go with me, I'll go. But there's nothing that you should do. You should be active, and that's the extent. What kind of activity works for you, and it's going to change.
And be okay with whatever that is, because I think perfect example is I've been active my whole life, and I go through phases of different, but I grew up a dancer, I'm active. So I never worry too much, when I've, fallen off the wagon, because I'm I'm an active person. I can't be sedentary for too long. But I think this pregnancy has been so much more peaceful for me because I don't have the should in my mind.
Right.
I'm running sounds horrible to me.
Right.
So... But I would love to go for a really long walk. I would power walk with the stroller. I could do that. That sounds okay. And then managing my expectations to be okay with that want. And then just doing it, just trying it one time. And then the other thing that I always tell women in every area of your life is focus on how you're going to feel afterwards. If you can hook into that feeling, sometimes that's what's going to get you through anything. So many different life experiences, but especially working out. Think about how great you're going to feel, those endorphins and everything.
Just don't worry about what other people are doing. Find the workout. If you're a yoga person, add some yoga in. And then you may find that was great. I feel great. I want to try something else. But if you're just getting started, think about one thing that excites you. And then I would say, give yourself some rewards. Reward yourself, Find something that, all right, if I give myself 3 workouts, then I'm going to buy that new workout outfit. Yeah.
And how do you feel, sorry, this is a little bit of a tangent, but how do you feel about sweets as rewards? Because I was reading this recently, if you are trying to be healthy and you always are using food as a reward, then it's working against you. Whereas if you're what's something that really genuinely makes me feel good? Getting a dress that makes me feel fantastic, or having a girls' night, or going on a date with my husband and making that a reward. And it's something that's not tied to food. And this is especially I think particularly for the women who really struggle with food and portion control and, feeling maybe they're eating too much of it, and then they go on these great health kicks, and then food is the reward,
Yeah, I think it really depends on the situation. For sure. To me, it's all about balance. So I don't like to say anything's good or bad when it comes to foods. I think that's a really sticky. But I feel my biggest thing I tell my moms is don't snowball. So,
Right.
okay, that's fine. If you feel like this weekend, let's use Easter because Easter's coming up, right? And a
Mm.
lot of people have a big. So, okay, we all know that you're probably going to go to a big lunch and you're going to
Mm-hmm.
have dessert. So, you know that's coming up. So, you know what? I'm going to work hard all week. And my reward is I'm going to sit down with a dessert.
Mm-hmm.
But the reward to me needs to be not the food, it's the mindset. I'm going to sit down with
Mm.
the dessert and I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm
Ah,
not going to count the calories. I'm just going to enjoy
just
it.
enjoy it. Oh, I love that. That's a
That to
good.
me is the reward because you're not, yeah, you did your workouts. You were great. Here's where I find people struggle. It's like, I'm going to reward myself with that dessert.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's going to throw me off. So I'm just going to forget the whole day. And
Yeah.
then it's all day
Which
long.
I've totally done.
Oh
I'm
yeah, I
like,
do it all the time. It's like you
Christmas,
gotta say, well, I
forget
just
it.
but went off track, so forget it. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
not gonna get back on track all day. And I think if you can tell yourself, you know what, I'm gonna enjoy this, and that's gonna be what I do, and it's not. Don't let yourself snowball. Or well, like the great example is like from Halloween to New Year's, right? Well, I ate all that candy. Well, Thanksgiving's coming. Well, Christmas is coming. Okay, well, we'll just wait. Like, I mean, we've all been there, right? Like, so if you just enjoy Thanksgiving, then you
Yeah,
get right back on track the next
right.
day. It's
There
a
is a
life,
month between the two, I suppose.
there's a long time. Yeah.
It's not like
So,
they're like back-to-back weekends.
right. So I think it's a lifestyle switch. And I think it's fine to reward yourself with,
Mm-hmm.
I worked hard all week and my husband and I have a date and I don't want to be on a date eating a plain baked potato.
No,
Like that's no fun.
that sounds terrible.
But it's that dinner. It's not that
Yeah,
entire weekend.
right. That
You know.
isolated incident.
And then enjoying it and let yourself off the hook. Enjoy
Yeah.
it.
And I love what you said about like not beating yourself up about it because that is
Do it.
something that we do a lot. Like moms do
Yes.
it. We just like beat ourselves up about everything. So it's like if you can take an isolated incident and commit like
Yeah.
I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm going to enjoy this day or this meal
Yeah.
or this one dessert
Exactly.
and then tomorrow's
And
a fresh.
think of it as a marathon, Think of it's not a sprint. If you go into this like, oh my gosh, I gotta change everything.
Mhm.
To me, now some people can operate that way. I'm
Mhm.
not, but most people need to think of it as, I don't feel good today. Should I work out? You have the rest of your life to work out.
Mm.
If you're sick, give your body a break.
Yeah.
So I think if you go into it with a mindset of this is a lifestyle change,
Mhm.
it's manageable.
Hmm.
If you're like, man, I've got to lose weight, so I'm hacking up a lung, but I'm gonna go running. No, don't,
Yeah.
don't. You've got the rest of your life. Like
Let's live a long life.
let's calm it down,
Let's take care of our bodies.
bring it on down.
No, that's really, really good advice. And it kind of reminds me, like, the next thing I wanted to ask you about is, like, working out as being all or nothing.
Yeah, same
And I
thing.
kind of feel like we've just covered it because it's like, I think for busy, especially like working moms, I mean, all moms, I think, are just, their plates are full,
Yeah.
they're overwhelmed. When they work outside the home, there's like a whole nother layer of like, this is a chunk of my day that is gone, right? So like I physically can't get the time in, but I love how you always say that working out doesn't have to be all or nothing. So I feel like we've just like touched on that though in every way from not snowballing to making it a lifestyle change
Exactly.
to putting bands underneath your baby's crib, which is so genius. I can't
Genius,
stop
right?
thinking
I was
about
like,
it.
that is so smart.
I'm so
I have to
excited.
tell you, my mom is so funny, and she'll kill me if she sees this. Maybe she won't watch it.
Okay.
But one time, I got her a Fitbit, and I was like, "Mom, wear your Fitbit." So then I said, "How are you doing on your Fitbit?" She's like, "Well, I got up to go walking, but then I remembered that I can't walk tomorrow because I have XYZ, so I didn't walk today." And I was like,
Success!
and I laughed at. I was like, "Mom, just because you can't walk tomorrow does not mean you cannot walk today." But I think, like, right in a way, that's a lot of what we all do. It's like, well, I can't start a gym routine right now, so I'm just not going to do anything. And again, I think if you can find ways to work it in, like, and again, I really try to give my moms very multitasking, high-level workouts so that maybe you only have 20 minutes, but by the time I'm done with you, 20 minutes was a plenty. Like, you do not want any more. So I think that if you can find those ways, we walk to school. Granted, it's less than half a mile. It's like 3 blocks, but there and back, there and back. I am the crazy person that parks at the, also because I'm a terrible driver, but I park far away. I'm just like, we're gonna walk in,
Yeah.
like find the places that you can really just work in some fitness, and you would be surprised.
Yeah.
Just those small, simple things, how they add up.
Find the
And
spaces in
just,
between the busy, you know?
yeah,
To
yeah,
again,
exactly.
it's all about like integrating because I think too, it's like it's not trying to pretend you don't have kids. It's not trying to pretend that that factor isn't
Right.
a huge factor in your ability
You
to
gotta
take
find the
care of,
way.
right. But like just find the spaces in between or just think outside the box or be flexible. I
and
love
be
that.
and be aware that it's going to change. I think that's something I've really, really been learning as a mom. I'm always like, well, when we get to this age, we'll do. It's always changing. And I remember
Yeah.
that my kids' first year of life when I was trying to get them on a schedule,
Mm.
and we'd get on a schedule
Yeah.
for like 3 weeks,
Oh
and then
yeah.
boom. And I'm like, seriously, I just got used to the.
Yeah.
And then you have to readjust your whole day because now we don't have a morning nap, but we have an afternoon nap, and it's the same with fitness. I think when my kids were really little, like babies, I had to do it before they woke up. Because
Mm.
once they woke up, I wasn't getting it in. And I was not doing anything at night because I was exhausted.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to get up 30 minutes early and do my workout or it wasn't going to happen. And now
Mm-hmm.
my kids are older. So if there's a snow day, I can do it after breakfast because I can turn on the TV. It's okay. They can watch TV. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Totally.
just, me. But like, I can do it
Yeah.
not early. So, you really have to know that how you fit it in is going to change as your kids grow and change. And you have to be willing to say, I used to could go to the gym 5 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can only go once. But when they start preschool, maybe I can go twice. Or, it just changes.
Yeah.
Be ready to change with it.
And that is mindset. That is a
Yeah.
lot, I
And
think.
also, just fitness wise, that's super important. Please, you need to change your routine. So, like, thank your children because if you're doing the same exact routine, your muscles are going to get used to that and it's not going to challenge them and you're going to plateau. So, I tell my people, I'll write them a workout calendar and I'll say, do this for 6 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
8 at the most, maybe because you missed a week here or there,
Mm-hmm.
and then you need to message me for a new calendar. So, you can even do the same kind of workouts, but you need to be changing. So if you're weight training your arms, you're doing that same routine, you need to switch it. Every 6 weeks, I'll give you 8 because we're busy.
Yeah.
But that's
Good
so
point.
thank your kids that every couple months their schedule changes because you need your workout schedule to
To
change.
switch
And
up.
you'll find like, oh, I just added a different class and now I can't move.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Oh man, this is so good. I just want to go work out right now. Okay, so let's just talk about some actionable fitness tips in your arsenal,
Yes.
like your top 3 workouts to fit into mom life.
Okay. Well, my top 3 workouts are Tabata, Tabata, Tabata.
Okay.
Terrible. And we're going to talk about this, but there's going to be
Yes, there's going to be a free download under this video at the end. We're going to post it, and Laura has generously created this amazing goodness. And so,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm gonna reference this sheet, but if you're a visual person like me, you may want to go ahead and click on it or
Right.
go back to it. Tabata, if you're not familiar with Tabata, it's 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, and you do it 8 times. So it ends up being about 4 minutes. As you advance, so I will say, like if my moms are watching it, they're like, that's not what we do. I do make them do 30 seconds of work now because they have advanced and they need to be pushed. So as you get more results, you can take that 20 seconds longer, but no more than 30 seconds because the goal is you are burning out the muscles.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so for that 30 seconds, you're going as hard as you can.
Okay.
And then you get to take a break.
Okay.
It's only a 10-second break. And so that's what's on here. 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, and you do it 8 different times. And so here's like a sample on here, total body. So you would do push-ups twice, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 20 seconds on. Then you would do squats, then you would do sit-ups, and then you would do mountain climbers. In that 4 minutes, you've done upper body, lower body, abs, and cardio. All in 4 minutes.
Mountain climbers, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just a quick, mountain climbers are things where you're like in a plank, right? And you like hike oh no, you're standing up.
I'm doing it for you right here.
Oh,
so you can run.
Okay.
You can do them in standing where you're pulling the knees up, or you can go into plank and run your legs.
That I've done.
It's interesting that a lot of my moms, and this has a lot of my moms have wrist issues. It's
Yeah.
been really interesting for me
Yep.
because of the hormones from
Yep.
pregnancy. Those tendons are loose. And so it's really, I've had to come up with a lot of modifications for wrist. So a lot of times we'll do them in plank, but my moms with wrist issues just stand up. You're going to get the same effect. The whole thing is you're working those lower abs by
Right.
pulling your knees in.
And you do
So
that, like each one of those things you said, like push-ups,
yeah,
lunges, planks, whatever. Each of that is like 20 seconds of
20
just
seconds.
push-ups, 10-second
Hmm.
rest, 20 seconds of just mountain climbers,
Yep.
10-second rest. Okay.
And on this one, you'll see that I put times two. So you would do push-ups, rest, and then squats. The key is you have to go as hard as you can because it's only 20 seconds.
Right.
So you can't just
count.
like go slow.
Yeah.
It's really hard. But the beauty of that is, so say you do that in the morning while they're eating breakfast, right? And then you can do it at lunch, and then you can do it at bath time. And there you've gotten in about 15 minutes of working out. Or if you do it and then they're still watching or doing whatever they're doing, do it again. So you got 8 minutes in. And if you go to my website, powerfulfitness.com, on the blog, I have like Workout Wednesday, I have Move It Monday. There's tons of free workouts there and lots of Tabata. But
Okay.
even if it's not written Tabata style, you could take the moves
And
and
just
put it.
stick it into that.
Yeah. So
10 second, 10
that
second.
to me, I think if moms can,
Yeah.
and I've asked my moms, what's the most important thing you've learned from us? And it's always Tabata.
I've never even heard of Tabata, so I'm so glad you're telling me about this. This is
Yeah.
amazing.
So I do it. My husband's like, do we have to do this? But I do it out walking.
You're like
you
in the
don't even have
grocery
to
store. He's like,
Yeah.
really?
Tabata.
Now?
Like we'll be out in the neighborhood and I'm like, we'll walk for 20 seconds. And then the next 20 seconds, I hold the stroller and do squats just right there on the drive, right there on the sidewalk.
Ah.
And the next 20 seconds, I jog. And the next ones, I'm doing oblique knees off the stroller. Like
Gosh.
once you get it in your head, you're doing it everywhere.
I'm just doing it. I used to do this when I babysat, like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember I'd be like, oh my gosh, I've been with a 2-year-old for like 8 hours today. And I'd be like, I'm going to like work out. I'm going to do crunch. I would like plank next to them and stuff.
Yeah.
And then as a mom, it like just kind of felt, because then I would be in my house and I'd be like, but I could also do dishes or tidy this up or wipe this down or whatever.
So I think just getting that in your mind and learning, I can do this with any move, anywhere. So that's my top. And my other things are on the top of the paper. I'm not going to read them all, but just a couple of things, like it's actionable. Eat your protein. It's very important. And then just very important where it says on the paper, eat, no for real eat. Like, now I've never been one of these people that forgets to eat. I know there are people out there that are super busy.
I've heard about these people as well.
As a matter of fact, like my stomach's like, is it? What's
Oh,
happening?
yeah, I had this before we talked.
Hey, it's time to eat. But that being said, you've got to fuel your body. If you've reached a plateau, I would almost be willing to bet, and if you want to send me an email and I will help you, I will look at it. But I'm almost willing to bet it's because you're not eating enough.
Interesting.
You have to fuel your body because as women, we still have that cave woman mentality.
Yeah.
And if you're not fueling it, it's going to hold on to it so that it can protect you. If you're nursing, and I'm just telling you from personal experience, every time when I was like trying to lose the baby weight and I was nursing, if I plateaued, if I upped my calories, 100 to 200 calories, I would start losing again. Plateau, eat more. Like, it sounds counterintuitive to what everyone's telling you. And what you eat needs to be quality. I'm not talking about Cocoa Crispy.
Yeah.
But you need to add it in. That, to me, is why a lot of women struggle to lose weight because we're told, oh, I need to go on a diet, 1,200 calories. No. So you need to eat. And on the paper I put, like I tell my mom, she's like, I don't have time. I'm like, yes, you do. So I put in 3 things you can make in about a minute.
That you guys, you're going to want to download this worksheet.
So,
it's like so realistic and practical.
I mean, I make eggs every morning in the microwave, people. Like, it's not glamorous, but you can do it, and
this is real life.
You just have to eat. So I think those are the big things.
Okay, so Tabata.
Also on here on the page, I did give you 2 more workouts that are they're not Tabata, but they just tell you how to do them. Awesome. They're short.
So awesome. And thank you so much for being so generous, like with your time and like this worksheet, and like email me if you hit a plateau. Like, I really want these women to go and find you on Facebook and go find your blog because it's so it's just smart for moms. Like when I found you, I was like, oh, this is like, she's speaking my language. Like I could do this.
Just have to
I
make
put an egg in a microwave. I could do that.
we can eat. Yeah, my kids love microwave eggs. I'm like, what? This is great. Sure, you
Totally.
can have more. So I just think that, yeah, we just have to really, and I think, did I put it on here? No. When I wrote that egg recipe, I put them on my blog, but I usually put like taken from or adapted from, but that's just from my grandma. She commented, she was like, I saw this on Good Morning America. I'm like, great. It's been one of my go-to breakfasts ever since. So, but that was funny.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just think if moms, I just love seeing moms realize like, yeah, I'm going to let myself off the hook, but I am going to do something.
Yeah.
And, I always just say like progress, not perfection. Just get in there.
That's been like my hashtag for the past month for
take a step in the right direction and you are going to be so surprised.
Ugh. Thank you so much. How can these women keep in touch with you, find you on social media? What's the best way?
Well, the website is powerfulfitness.com and it's FULL.
Right, 2 L's. And I'll link that below as well.
Yes. And then also same thing on Facebook. But I think and that'll be on the website too.
Okay.
Yeah, just get on the blog. If you have specific questions, feel free to email me or message me on the Facebook page and I can answer them or try to hook you up with extra resources. I have lots of stuff I can give you if you need it. So we're in it together.
Thank you.
Yes,
so much. I feel like I just learned a ton.
Oh, good.
I got some lunges to do.
Yeah, you got to go do your Tabata. Oh, with the Tabata, one thing you can do, you can go on iTunes and if you want to spend like a couple dollars, you can download to just Google or on iTunes,
like Tabata,
search Tabata music.
So it's like fast for 20 seconds and then.
Well, it tells you start, stop. So it'll blow a whistle, so you don't have to look at your watch.
Oh, that's
so I often use that in my class because I just can't keep up with where we are. So it's set for 8 cycles, and it'll say start, rest, which is nice.
This is amazing.
And you can also search on your app store. If you don't want to buy the music, you can get a Tabata timer. They're free for your phone. And it'll tell you
over the music that you have.
It'll play over your own personal music. But that way you're not looking at your phone to figure out how long it's been.
What a helpful little
forgot that. So search for a Tabata app or just I personally like the Tabata music, but that's
okay. I will definitely check that out. This is seriously really, really good stuff.
And there's lots of them on the blog, so go up there and get some workouts.
We'll definitely direct people to your blog and everything. So thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for letting me be here.
Amazing. And I'm sure we'll keep in touch. Maybe see you in your little fitness Facebook group or something.
That's right. Yes. All right.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.